Hello and welcome. This short training video aims to provide you with an overview of phonological awareness, what it is, how it develops, and why it is so important. The aim is to support educators and parents to understand the vital role phonological awareness plays in children's speech, language, and literacy development. What is phonological awareness? Phonological awareness is actually an auditory skill, meaning it's all about sounds, not letters. It is often spoken about in the context of children learning to read and write, but that's just because it's a key ingredient in developing those skills. It is actually a completely separate skill and stands alone. It does not require or involve reading or writing at all. Phonological awareness is actually about language and the sounds used within our language. And language refers to the words we use when we're speaking, and each of those words are made up of smaller parts, such as syllables and sounds. Phonological awareness includes the ability to hear the sound units in our spoken language, but also the ability to manipulate them, such as sticking them together, separating them, adding, removing, or changing them. Phonological awareness is key to speech, language, and literacy development. So with regards to speech, issues with phonological awareness might result in a child not understanding or recognizing that they're using the wrong sound in a word and say tat instead of cat. Phonological awareness helps children understand how their language systems work, and good phonological awareness can improve vocabulary development and understanding of grammar rules. Finally, literacy. Children have to be able to hear the sounds in words in order to map letters to them. And so difficulties with phonological awareness are commonly observed in children with dyslexia and other reading challenges. Next, we're going to talk about how phonological awareness develops. So, starting with music. Music supports phonological awareness development because we often tap to a beat or clap along with songs, and these parts that we tap and clap to are the words and the syllables. This then increases children's awareness of these individual parts of those sentences and words, and very often songs include rhyme as well. Then we have nursery rhymes, which have been around for centuries and were originally spoken, not written down. Rhyming is fun and engaging for children, and it grabs their attention. So they start to subconsciously notice that some words in the song sound similar. It also exposes children to the unique rhythm and structure of language, and more than that, can include other key phonological awareness skills, such as alliteration. For example, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers is fun to try and say. It's funny to think about. And also children start to realise that something is the same about nearly all the words in that sentence. This happens long before they see it written down or know what the letter P is. It's all done through listening and becoming aware of what they hear. Having fun and playing around with language is something most children do naturally. They might make up silly names for their toys or say made-up words while they play. Their ability to combine sounds to make up words shows that they are exploring how sounds go together and how we can change sounds to make new words. Reading to children, in particular books designed especially for young children, exposes them to a wide range of opportunities to develop their phonological awareness skills. Children's books often include rhyme and have been specifically written to be read with a certain rhythm, with stress on certain words to help them stand out and pauses to add effect. They might also include alliteration and provide opportunities for children to start to guess what word might come next. Think llama llama, red pajama. Those old classic games you play on long journeys also support phonological awareness. I spy with my little eye something beginning with B forces a child to look around and find things beginning with B. That's alliteration, a phonological awareness skill. What skills make up phonological awareness? So, phonological awareness is actually an umbrella term which describes a wide range of sound-based skills, which includes word awareness, the awareness that a sentence is a string of words, each with their own meaning. Children have to be able to pick out the individual word caterpillar in the sentence, "Look at that caterpillar." Next comes syllable awareness, which includes the ability to hear when a word is made up of more than one syllable, blend syllables together, and break them apart. It's also the ability to manipulate those syllable units by adding, removing, or changing them. So, take the word caterpillar. It's made up of 4 syllables, cat, pill, l. And so at this level, children should be able to blend the individual syllables to make the word caterpillar, or take the whole word caterpillar and break it into its syllables. An example of syllable manipulation might be breaking off or removing part of the word. For example, what's caterpillar without cater? The answer would be pillar. Now we move to looking within a single syllable. This level is about onset and rhyme awareness, which means being able to break off the initial or onset sound from the rest of the word, and that rest of the word is known as the rhyme, and I'll explain why now. So, take the first syllable in caterpillar, it's cat. The onset sound is k, and the rest of the word, known as the rhyme, is at. If we were to think about other words which rhyme with cat, they would all have to end with at, such as mat, pat, chat, and bat. And just to make it clear that we are still thinking about sounds here, plat also rhymes with those words, even though it follows a completely different spelling pattern. The final and most advanced phonological awareness skill is phoneme awareness. This is about single sound awareness and includes being able to hear and isolate individual sounds within a word. It's the ability to take separate sounds and blend them together, and it's the ability to hear a spoken word and separate it or segment it into all its individual sounds. This level also includes the ability to manipulate these sounds. For example, you can remove the k from cat to make at. You can change the k in cat to a b and make bat. And you can add a s to the end of cat to make cats. This flexibility in sound letter manipulation is essential for attempting to read and spell unfamiliar words. Now, most importantly here, you can now see that only with the awareness of individual sounds in words can a child successfully use phonics to read and spell. If you focus on the red arrows in the visual, this demonstrates how children use phonics to read. They see the letters C-A-T written in front of them, and they make the letter sounds for C, A, and T, which are k, at. Then they blend them together. This is phoneme blending. It's a phonological awareness skill. If we switch to the blue arrows, this demonstrates how children use phonics to spell. They think of a word that they want to write, such as cat, then break or segment it into its individual sounds. So for cat, it's k, at. Then they use letters which they have learned go with each of those sounds in order to write the word down. So the k sound would be written with the letter C, the a sound is written with the letter A, and the t sound is written with the letter T. If they cannot blend sounds, then phonics won't work for reading, And if they cannot segment sounds, then phonics won't work for spelling. Recognizing that phonological awareness is a developmental skill is important for 3 reasons. Firstly, knowing the order in which phonological awareness skills develops helps us plan the sequence in which skills should be taught, starting with the easiest, word awareness, and ending with the most complex skill, phoneme awareness. Secondly, knowing the typical age-related developmental norms allows us to look at a child and ask ourselves, should they be able to do this, or is it totally normal that they can't? What is most interesting here is, as I established on a previous slide, children cannot be fully successful using phonics to read and spell until they have secure phoneme awareness. Typically, phonemic awareness develops around the age of 5 to 6 years and is fully secure by 7 years. Children, however, begin phonics in reception when they are 4, turning 5 years old. I think this is one of the key takeaways when thinking about children's literacy development, and also when we refer to children in reception in year 1 as struggling with phonics or struggling with literacy. Are they struggling because they have a literacy difficulty, or are they simply struggling because they haven't yet developed the phonological awareness skills necessary for phonics to make sense to them? Do they have completely typical skills for their age, and are we simply expecting too much? Finally, if we know what's typical with regards to phonological awareness development, we can identify when a child is having difficulty for their age and when to step in and provide extra support. This is one of my favorite pieces of visual data to back up the links between a child's age, phonological awareness development, and literacy success. Here you have the Year 1 phonics check data from the Department of Education for June 2022. This data came from all the Year 1s who completed the phonics check in England and Wales. Along the bottom of the graph is the child's birth month, starting with September-born children, who are the oldest in the year group, and moving all the way to the August-born children, who are the youngest in the year group. Along the left side of the graph is the percentage of children who passed the phonics check. A pass in the phonics check is a score of 32 and above, meaning a child read 32 words correctly. So, this graph put simply, the pass rate in the phonics check was highest for children born in September and lowest for children born the following August, which is 11 months later. Not only that, but every single month younger a Year 1 child was, their chance of passing the Year 1 phonics check decreased. Now, what is also important to note is that being born in August did not mean you were guaranteed to fail the phonics check, not at all. Approximately 68% of August-born Year 1s passed, but the probability was simply lower. While we cannot chalk this up to phonological awareness alone, the phonics check requires a child to read words, both real and pseudo words. And to do this, they need to sound out the letters and then accurately blend those sounds together to say the word. Those who pass demonstrate that they are able to do this 32 times or more. And those who do not pass are having difficulty with this. This could, of course, be due to not recognizing the letters that they see in front of them, or not knowing what sounds the letters make. Or it's because once they've sounded out the letters, they don't know how to blend those sounds together. And it's that last skill where phonological awareness comes in. Now we're going to look at phonological awareness in the bigger picture of reading. So, reading comprehension, otherwise known as understanding what you read, is the goal of reading. In this visual, it's represented by the roof of the house. Now, for that roof to be secure, the foundations of the house have got to be in place. For a person to be able to comprehend or to understand what they read, they not only need to be able to read words, but they also need to be able to understand language. So, on one side of the house, we have the skills which underpin word reading, including phonological awareness. Next to that is print knowledge, meaning the recognition and knowledge of the letters of our alphabet, the letters which are used to physically write down words. On top of those foundational skills are 3 other skills, starting with decoding, which is where printed letters are translated into spoken sounds. This is where children use their phonics, and this skill can help us read about 86% of words in English. Next to that is full word or whole word recognition. We need this skill too, and we need it to read those words we cannot decode, such as yacht and kernel. No amount of phonics is going to help you read those words. You just need to learn to recognize them and read them. And they make up about 14% of words in English. Lastly, you have fluency, and this means being able to read accurately, quickly, and with the appropriate expression to convey meaning. If a child is reading quickly and with great expression, but their words are wrong, what they read won't be making much sense. If they take too much time to accurately read a word, it'll be hard for them to add expression, and they'll struggle to remember what they've read and understand what's happening. And if they're struggling with things like prosody and intonation, they might miss key features in the text which convey deeper meaning or implied meaning. On the other side of the house is the language element required to read. So this is not about reading itself, but about language. At the bottom, grammar relates to things such as the word classes, so nouns, verbs, adjectives, and the tense we are speaking in, so indicating past, present, future by adding an ing or an ed to verbs. Syntax focuses specifically on sentence structure, so the idea that we can say, the cat is running, but we cannot say, running the cat is, even if Yoda thinks that's okay. And vocabulary refers to the words a person knows and understands. Key part there is understands. While a child might be able to say dog, do they know and use it when referring to that cute furry creature that barks? In the same sense, a child might be able to read the word dog, but are they understanding or thinking about what that word represents? That they're supposed to be picturing a dog in their head and thinking about that dog in relation to the other words that they read about. Once a child has these skills, more complex language skills can develop. These include the ability to infer meaning. For example, the girl stared at the empty cookie jar and sighed. Here, we infer that the girl wanted a cookie and is feeling sad or dejected about there being no cookies, based on her sigh. Without this language ability, a child might read that sentence and interpret this very literally, that a girl made a sigh noise after finding an empty cookie jar. Without inferred meaning, the child might not be picking up on emotions and feelings behind actions or the cause and effect of an action. This in turn links to social communication, such as understanding jokes, sarcasm, and indirect questions. So, pulling both sides of the house together, it is only with good word reading abilities and good language comprehension that a person can truly comprehend or understand what they read. So, after all that information, you might be wondering what you can do to support children to develop their phonological awareness skills. For schools, Words First have an intervention program called Sound Smart. What is Sound Smart? It's a targeted intervention designed to develop children's phonological awareness skills. It can be run by Words First speech and language therapists and by trained staff in schools with a service level agreement with Words First. Staff who run the intervention must have attended the official Sound Smart training. in terms of who SoundSmart is for. It's perfect for children who would benefit from targeted support to develop their phonological awareness skills in a structured and systematic way. This includes children eligible for pupil premium funding and children with identified speech and language needs. And lastly, how does SoundSmart work? It has been specifically designed to gradually develop all the skills previously discussed and includes activities which support children to develop syllable awareness, recognition and production of rhyme, and most importantly, the ability to blend and segment words into single sounds, which is what they need for phonics. For anyone who wants evidence to back up the positive impact phonological awareness interventions such as SoundSmart can have on literacy success, here is a graph showing the pre- and post-intervention scores for 16 Year 1 students who took part in SoundSmart interventions with me in the spring and summer terms of 2025. They were chosen for this intervention because they were the 16 students in Year 1 having the most difficulty with phonics. All children scored higher at post-assessment, meaning their phonological awareness abilities improved. Even better than that, those children marked with a yellow star actually passed the phonics check in June 2025. And those children marked with an orange star read 10 or more words in the phonics check. Remember, at the start of Year 1, these were the children that teachers were most concerned about. As you can see, almost all of these children had the highest post-intervention scores, meaning that they had the strongest phonological awareness skills. This backs up everything this training is about. Those children from my intervention group who still had phonological awareness skills left to develop did not do well in the phonics check. For any parents or carers watching, Words First also has a brilliant resource pack filled with fun and engaging activities you can use at home to develop your child's phonological awareness skills during everyday routines. To access it, you need to go to the Words First website and navigate to the shop section in order to purchase and download it. Or you can simply Google phonological awareness support and you will immediately have access to a wide range of resources which are freely available online. One final note on phonological awareness. Educators often talk about helping children crack the alphabetic code. This is the idea that letters represent sounds and that once they unlock this code, reading and spelling begins. But here's the catch. Phonics is the key. Phonological awareness is the lock. You can hand children the key, drill them on letter-sound relationships, and even practice decoding words. But without sound-based knowledge, there is nothing for the alphabetic code to connect to. Without phonological awareness, there is nothing for the key to fit into. And for those at risk of literacy difficulties, systematic and consistent work on phonological awareness alongside phonics instruction has the greatest chance of opening the door to literacy success.